Hey there, car enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive into everything on four wheels, from vintage classics to the cutting-edge rides of the future. Today, we have an electrifying episode lined up for you. That's right, we're taking a look at all the new electric cars coming in 2024. The automotive industry is revving up with innovation, and we've got the scoop on the latest models that are set to hit the roads. So, buckle up, because this is going to be a thrilling ride. Most brands are set to massively expand their EV offerings over the coming months. New entrants range from properly affordable options like the Citroën EC3 and Dacia Spring to multi-million-pound works of art, like the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. There's something arriving to suit everyone.
Abarth 600.
The fun-focused version of Fiat's cute new electric crossover is expected to receive a similar set of chassis tweaks as the smaller Abarth 500e, riding lower and stiffer to improve handling. It may also gain a slight power uplift compared with the base car's 154 brake horsepower, plus an Abarth typical lurid paint job and more aggressive styling. 2. iWays U5. The iWays U5 is a competent, if uninspiring, family SUV from China that has been on sale in mainland Europe since 2020. It's set to go on sale in the UK and other places later in 2024, priced to rival the Skoda Enyaq.
3 Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale.
Alfa Romeo's new supercar will offer both petrol and electric powertrains, with the latter deploying 3 motors for a combined output of 739 brake horsepower. As its name might suggest, just 33 examples will be built, with Alfa remaining tight-lipped about how many of these will be electric.
4 Alfa Romeo Milano.
Alfa's first mainstream EV will be a sporting sibling of the Jeep Avenger, taking Alfa Romeo back into the B segment for the first time since the Mito was retired. It's set to have a dual-motor, 4-wheel drive powertrain and a chassis prioritizing engaging handling. A hotter Quadrifoglio version is also under consideration. 5. Alpine A290. Alpine's push into the mainstream market will begin with the A290, an electric hot hatch based on the forthcoming new Renault 5. It has been designed to prioritize agility, with torque vectoring to simulate a traditional limited-slip differential on the front-mounted motor and a series of chassis upgrades including hydraulic bump stops to improve the ride without compromising handling, plus the 4-piston brakes from the A110. 6. Alpine GTX Over. Alongside the A290 will be an entry into the critical CSUV class, based on the CMF-EV platform of the Renault Megane E-Tech. It's expected to be a similar proposition to the Lotus Electra and Polestar 3, a luxurious model with sufficient space for a family yet also a sporting character.
7 Audi A6 e-tron.
The arrival of the electric A6 will bring with it a major shake-up in how Audi badges its cars. ICE models will receive odd-numbered designations, while EVs will use even numbers. The new A6 will be based on the PPE architecture, also used by the new Q6, delivering ranges north of 400 miles and the potential for power outputs above 500 brake horsepower. 8. Audi Q6 e-tron. Audi has prioritized efficiency for the A6's chunky equivalent, deploying tricked silicon carbide semiconductors to minimize energy wastage. The result is a range of 373 miles from a battery of around 100 kilowatt-hours, on a par with the likes of the BMW iX.
9 BMW i5 Touring.
Want a posh electric estate? Until now, your only option has been the Cross Turismo and Sport Turismo versions of the Porsche Taycan, but that will soon change as BMW grafts a hatchback boot onto the i5 saloon. Expect this to significantly improve luggage capacity, with a minimal compromise in terms of range and performance. 10. BMW 9/2. The second-generation version of BMW's entry-level coupe SUV gains an electric powertrain packing 308 brake horsepower and 364 pounds-foot. It touts an official range of 279 miles and a maximum charging rate of 130 kilowatts. 11. BYD Seal U. Chinese giant BYD will expand its European lineup later this year with its foil to the Tesla Model Y, dubbed the Seal U. It's based on the same E-Platform 3.0 as the impressive Seal Saloon, with battery capacities of 71 kilowatt-hours and 87 kilowatt-hours, plus the ability to recharge at rates up to 150 kilowatts. In keeping with BYD's UK pricing strategy, it's expected to undercut the Model Y. 12. Citroën EC3. The electric version of the new C3 is one of the most important cars arriving in 2024 because it will be one of the cheapest EVs available by a significant margin. That nets a 44 kilowatt-hours lithium iron phosphate battery pack that delivers an official range of 199 miles, with the ability to charge at rates of up to 100 kilowatts. 13. Cupra Tavascan. The sporting sibling of the Volkswagen ID.5 will be available with a dual-motor, four-wheel drive powertrain outputting 335 brake horsepower and 501 pounds-ft of torque. It packs an 82 kilowatt-hour battery, the same unit as in the ID.5, good for 341 miles of range and 282 brake horsepower, single-motor models. 14. Dacia Spring. The Spring is already a big seller in Europe, but will go on sale in more places in 2024. In doing so, Dacia will take the fight to Citroën, potentially beating the starting price of the EC3 by several £1,000s while offering similar on-paper specifications. 15. Fiat 600e. The replacement for the petrol Fiat 500X adds an electric powertrain to its repertoire, with a single front-mounted motor sending 154 brake horsepower and 192 pounds-ft through its front wheels. It's fitted with a 54 kilowatt-hours, 51 kilowatt-hours usable battery, giving a range of 249 miles. 16. Fiat Panda. Less is more is the guiding philosophy behind the next-generation Panda, according to Fiat boss Olivier François. It will be a small, value-focused crossover similar to fellow Stellantis brand Citroën's EC3, taking heavy inspiration from 2019 Cineveni concept.
17. Fiat Topolino.
Few cars are as bold a statement of a brand's identity as the Topolino. It's the Citroën Ami redesigned in line with Fiat's Dolce Vita mindset, gaining retro styling and one color option, mint green. You can even have one with nightclub-style ropes instead of doors. 18. Ford E-Transit Custom. Perhaps the most consequential of all the year's arrivals, given that it's an electric version of the UK's best-selling commercial vehicle. Twinned with the next-generation Volkswagen Transporter, the new E-Transit Custom van will be available with a choice of 134 brake horsepower and 215 brake horsepower rear-mounted motors, both making 306 pounds-ft of torque. Its payload capacity tops out at just above 1,000 kilograms. 19. Ford Explorer. Ford's tie-up with the Volkswagen Group has also manifested the Explorer, a family SUV based on the German giant's MEB platform. It will be offered in 168 brake horsepower, 282 brake horsepower, and 335 brake horsepower guises, with the ringiest max variant targeted to deliver 311 miles between charges. The Explorer will arrive this summer, following a delay rooted in new battery legislation. 20. Ford Mustang Mach-E Rally. Inspired by the Ford Focus RS, this off-road Focus version of the Mustang Mach-E Sports SUV boosts power to 480 brake horsepower and gains specially tuned Magnaride shocks. 21. Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Early signs suggest the Ioniq 5N is a rare industry milestone. It's the first EV capable of taking the fight to the world's best petrol engine drivers' cars, with sharper handling than the Porsche Taycan, a whopping 641 brake horsepower on overboost, and a dizzying array of driving modes. 22. Jeep Recon. This electric alternative to the Jeep Wrangler will arrive with 600 brake horsepower and a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 3.5 seconds. The doors can be removed too, although we're not sure how useful that will be in windswept Blighty. 23. Kia EV3. Kia's push to offer more affordable electric cars begins with the EV3. It's underpinned by the Hyundai Motor Group's eGMP platform and will offer multiple powertrains, with outputs likely to range from 215 brake horsepower to 302 brake horsepower. 24. Lotus Emaya. Lotus's first saloon since the famous Lotus Carlton Super Saloon is effectively a slimmer version of the Electra, offering the same 905 brake horsepower and 726 pounds-ft powertrain as the SUV. It's said to offer a broadly similar range to the Electra, which provides 304 miles between charges in its Rapider guise. Prices, too, are expected to mirror those of its Chinese-made sibling.
25. Maserati Gran Turismo Folgore.
A trio of 402 brake horsepower motors provides this Grand Tourer with a combined 751 brake horsepower and 996 pounds-ft. Limited only by the battery's inability to handle such power flow yet. The 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint is dispatched in just 2.7 seconds and top speed is 199 miles per hour.
26 Maserati MC20 Folgore.
The flag bearer for Maserati's electric sports cars is anticipated to share its powertrain with the Gran Turismo, but in a lighter, more compact body, with a greater focus on outright performance.
27 Maserati Gran Turismo Folgore.
A trio of 402 brake horsepower motors provides this Grand Tourer with a combined 751 brake horsepower and 996 pounds-ft. Limited only by the battery's inability to handle such power flow yet. The 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint is dispatched in just 2.7 seconds and top speed is 199 miles per hour. 28 Mini Aceman. The new Aceman is a crossover sandwich between the Cooper and the Countryman, based on a stretched version of the former's new Chinese-developed Spotlight platform. It will be offered with 181 brake horsepower and 215 brake horsepower electric motors, and a hot John Cooper Works version is set to arrive around 2026. 29. Mini Cooper. The next-generation Mini hatchback starts with the entry-level Cooper E with a 181 brake horsepower motor and a range of 190 miles between charges. An early drive in a camouflaged prototype suggests it's still a hoot to drive, with a darty front end and a playfulness through bends. 30. Mini Countryman. The Countryman SUV has grown, both in size and price, to rival the likes of the Audi Q4. Two electric powertrains will be offered at launch. A single-motor, rear-wheel drive one with 201 brake horsepower and a dual-motor, four-wheel drive one with 309 brake horsepower. Both utilize a 64.7 kilowatt-hour battery, yielding a range of 287 miles. 31. Peugeot E3008. The first car underpinned by Stellantis' new SDLA medium architecture offers two battery sizes, with the most capacious 98 kilowatt-hour version delivering a range of 435 miles. Our first impression is that it's a perfectly competent family crossover that should be nice to own, but an expensive one that's lacking in flair. 32. Polestar 3. The Polestar 3 is effectively a Volvo EX90 wearing a tracksuit and trainers, promising a more sporting dynamic character. Time behind the wheel of a prototype suggests it's genuinely good fun to drive, and that the interior lives up to its price tag, which also happens to undercut the equivalent BMW iX and Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. 33. Polestar 4. Polestar's most environmentally friendly car yet is also its strangest, forgoing a conventional rear window in favor of a roof-mounted camera. This allowed Polestar to reposition the 4's header rail, giving a more rakish roofline, and therefore a longer range. 34. Porsche Macan Electric. The second-generation Macan adopts the PPE architecture also used by the Audi Q6 e-tron, with a dual-motor powertrain developing more than 603 brake horsepower and 738 pounds-ft of torque. That's significantly more than the V6-powered Macan GTS's 435 brake horsepower and 406 pounds-ft. Although 0 to 62 miles per hour times are comparable, the electric SUV completes the sprint in 4.4 seconds, whereas the petrol one takes 4.5 seconds. 35. Range Rover Electric. This has been a long time coming. The Range Rover will finally gain an electric powertrain in 2024, and JLR bosses promise it to be the most refined Range Rover to date, all while offering performance comparable with today's V8 flagship. Even its off-road credentials look to remain intact, with the ability to wade through 850 mm deep water. 36. Renault 4. The revived Renault 4 will share much of its mechanical makeup with the smaller Renault 5, but package it in a larger and trendier crossover body. 37. Renault 5. Fun comes first in the new 5, according to Renault boss Luca De Meo, at least. Its Ampere small platform, formerly named CMF-BEV, features a multi-link rear axle that's said to provide much greater agility than the torsion beam used by the outgoing Renault Zoe. Weight has also been shed where possible, with a new battery layout and motor design credited with significant savings. 38. Renault Scenic E-Tech. It may not be the paradigm-shifting MPV from 3 decades ago, but the latest Scenic remains a spacious, fashionable family hauler. It's aimed squarely at the Tesla Model Y, undercutting the huge-selling American SUV on price while offering almost 100 more miles of range. 39. Smart number 3. The number 3 is a better car to drive than the number 1 and good value too, but it still doesn't quite meet the class standard due to its poor infotainment and driver assistance. 40. Opel Crossland. The new Crossland will be bigger and bolder than the current car, a proper small SUV, rather than a lifted hatchback. As with its smaller sibling, the Corsa, it will be available with petrol and electric powertrains. The latter is expected to use Stellantis's favored combination of a 154 brake horsepower front-mounted motor and 51 kilowatt-hour battery for a range of around 250 miles. 41. Opel Grandland. The Grandland will be reinvented as an electric SUV underpinned by the new SDLA medium platform, potentially allowing a range of more than 400 miles, as well as a rapid four-wheel drive powertrain. It will be a similar proposition to the current Grandland, but wears a more rakish roofline, and it might also take a new name. 42. Volvo EX30. This small SUV is stylish and great to drive, but doesn't live up to expectations inside. The quality is fine, but the dominance of the infotainment touchscreen system, which most crucial controls are hidden behind. 43. Volvo EX90. Volvo's electric flagship was delayed due to software issues, but is on track to launch later this year. It offers a veritable feast of technology, with LiDAR sensors, interior lighting that mimics sunlight and bidirectional charging, plus much more besides. 44. Volkswagen ID.7. Think of this not as a Tesla Model 3 rival, but instead a much cheaper alternative to the Mercedes-Benz EQE. The ID.7 offers a hugely practical, comfortable interior, as well as ranges of 386 to 435 miles, depending on which version you opt for. 45. Xpeng G6. Chinese EV maker Xpeng's UK launch will begin with the G6, a rival to the Tesla Model Y. There are 2 battery sizes in the SUV, 66 kilowatt-hours and 87.5 kilowatt-hours, giving ranges of between 360 and 469 miles, according to China's CLTC test cycle. And there you have it, folks. The future is bright, and it's electric. These new models are not just about zero emissions, they're packed with groundbreaking technology and style. Which 2024 electric car are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest updates.